Thanks for joining me today in a series on the RPO sequences. Today I'm going to be covering the RPO specialized sequences, in particular the match plane single burn sequence. So taking a look at my scenario over here, we have an RPO satellite that's going to be behind my target satellite. So if we look at its initial state, it's 1 kilometer behind the target satellite. It has a little bit of a radial offset, so it's going to be above my target satellite. And it also has a cross-track component, so it's not in the same plane. So in order to match the same plane, we're going to be using the match plane with a single burn segment today. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. So the high level parameters over here are the rendezvous engine. What engine would I like to pick? In this case, I'm going to stick with the rendezvous engine. Who am I? It's just going to match the name of my RPO satellite in my mission. Same as over here. And then whether I'd like to use impulsive or finite burns to perform this. I'm going to stick with finite, but you could select from either and both work. Taking a look at what this actually does, it's going to propagate to the ascending or descending node relative to my target satellite. So just as if you're doing inclination change for the Earth, it's going to do the same thing, but with respect to the target satellite, it's going to go to the node crossings, and it's going to assess each one. And based off the fuel usage, it's going to pick the lower of the two fuel usages. So it's, whether that's the descending or ascending node, doesn't matter. It's just going to pick the lower of the two in terms of fuel usage. And then at that point, it's going to try to match the plane, which means get rid of any cross-track components. So we now are going to have the same plane, but it's not going to try to do anything with this sort of radial offset right over here. So if I want to take a look at what this sequence actually does, I'm going to go ahead and animate, or go ahead and run my MCS. Taking a look at this, you'll see that I start off over here, not exactly on the V-bar, but if I animate my scenario, I'm just going to pause it right here. Here was the first opportunity to cross and perform a maneuver to match the plane, but turns out this one over here is slightly less delta V. So if it's going to keep on propagating until the other node crossing here, then it's going to perform a burn to stabilize itself here and get rid of any plane out of plane velocity components. Now, as I said, there's still going to be this radial offset. So if I were to just coast for 4 hours afterwards, I'm going to run this. You'll see that it did indeed match the plane here. So I'm now in plane. But as I said, it's not going to get rid of that radial offset. So this match plane, whole point is just to match the plane with your target satellite. Okay, that's it for the match plane. Thanks for joining me.